Have you ever wondered how a collection of islands, hidden from the world for thousands of years, grew to become a land shaped by exploration, conquest, and resilience? From ancient kingdoms that thrive in the heart of Asia's vast maritime trade to the emergence of a fierce resistance against foreign invasions, the history of the Philippines is a story that spans thousands of years. In today's journey, we'll dive into a timeline that dates back over 700,000 years, long before any Europeans set foot on these islands. We'll explore legendary migrations, the rise of early societies, and the impacts of colonial forces that would forever alter the course of this nation. Join us as we unravel the Philippines' remarkable history. Chapter 1. Ancient Beginnings. Our story begins over 700,000 years ago with evidence of ancient human activity, dating back to some of the earliest inhabitants known as Homo luzonensis. Found on the island of Luzon, this early species shows that humans were present here long before any known modern society. Later discoveries, like stone tools and butchered animal remains in the area, reveal that early humans actively lived and thrived on these islands. The first settlers were believed to be the Negritos, who migrated to the archipelago through land bridges. By 3000 BCE, they were followed by the Austronesians, skilled navigators who traveled by sea from Taiwan and settled throughout the Philippines. These Austronesians brought not only knowledge of agriculture and navigation, but a culture that valued community and craftsmanship. The Austronesians played a central role in developing Philippine society, crafting tools, trading with neighbors, and building complex communities. By 2000 BCE, these islands became a key player in a vast trade network known as the Maritime Jade Road, which connected the Philippines to cultures as far as Vietnam and Malaysia. The jade artifacts unearthed here are proof of an ancient, thriving society that traded, collaborated, and innovated across the seas. Chapter 2. The Rise of Early Kingdoms. As centuries passed, a new age dawned with the emergence of early Philippine kingdoms. By 900 CE, numerous polities and city-states had formed throughout the islands, including notable ones like Tonda, Mai, and Butuan. These kingdoms were sophisticated, each with unique forms of governance, social hierarchies, and cultural practices. Among the earliest records of Philippine civilization is the Laguna copperplate inscription from 900 CE, which mentions a man named Namorin and his family being freed from a debt by a ruler in Tonda. This inscription is a rare glimpse into the complex societies of early Filipinos who engaged in trade, diplomacy, and governance. Butuan, for instance, flourished as a trade hub, known for its gold and active exchanges with Chinese merchants. Indian, Chinese, and later Islamic influences shaped these kingdoms, introducing concepts from language and literature to religion and governance. By the 1300s, many coastal settlements had grown into major trading centers, where people practiced Hinduism, Buddhism, and indigenous belief systems. From Hindu empires to Muslim sultanates, the Philippines became a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and beliefs, woven into the lives of Filipinos. This period saw the Philippines at the center of a thriving trade network, exchanging goods like silk, pottery, spices, and gold with China, India, and nearby empires. Through this, Filipino societies absorbed different aspects of Asian culture, blending them with local traditions to form a unique identity. Chapter 3. The Arrival of the Spanish. The history of the Philippines took a dramatic turn in 1521, with the arrival of Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, who sailed under the Spanish flag. His arrival marked the first European contact with the archipelago, leading to the famous Battle of Mactan, where the warrior Lapu-Lapu and his men resisted the Spanish forces, ultimately killing Magellan. Though Magellan's expedition ended in defeat, Spain's interest in the Philippines only grew. In 1565, the Spanish returned under the command of Miguel López de Legazpi, establishing the first European settlement in Cebu. This began Spain's three-century rule over the Philippines, a period that would change everything. Under Spanish rule, the islands were unified for the first time as a single political entity, named Las Islas Filipinas in honor of King Philip II of Spain. Spanish influence introduced Catholicism, which became deeply ingrained in Filipino society. Churches were built, towns were organized around plazas, and Spanish became the language of law and governance. However, Spain's rule was met with resistance. Many Filipinos rejected foreign control, and revolts erupted throughout the archipelago. These uprisings, from Lacandula's rebellion in Tonda to the Daguhoy rebellion in Bohol, reflected a deep-rooted desire for independence and a refusal to submit to colonial rule. One significant aspect of Spanish rule was the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade, linking the Philippines to Mexico and, ultimately, to Spain. This trade brought wealth and cultural exchange, but also intensified Spanish control over the islands. Chapter 4. Transition to American Rule. In 1898, after centuries of Spanish rule, a turning point arrived with the Spanish-American War. The United States defeated Spain, and in the Treaty of Paris, the Philippines was handed over to the U.S. However, Filipinos, led by revolutionary Emilio Aguinaldo, had already declared independence, sparking the Philippine-American War. The war was brutal, with the United States suppressing the Filipino revolutionaries. Yet, Filipino resistance persisted, a testament to their unwavering spirit. As the U.S. established control, they introduced democratic reforms, infrastructure, and public education, creating lasting changes in Filipino society. The U.S. aimed to modernize the Philippines, laying foundations for a government and educational system still visible today. But the Filipino struggle for independence continued, culminating in the establishment of the Philippine Commonwealth in 1935 as a transitional step toward full sovereignty. Chapter 5. Path to Independence. World War II brought one of the darkest chapters in Philippine history. In 1941, Japanese forces invaded, subjecting the islands to years of hardship and cruelty. The resilience of Filipinos shone through as guerrilla fighters joined American forces in reclaiming the land. The Battle of Manila left the city in ruins, but Filipinos stood strong. On July 4, 1946, following Japan's defeat, the Philippines finally gained independence. After centuries of foreign rule, the nation could now chart its own course. Chapter 6. Modern Challenges. With independence, the Philippines embarked on a new journey. The young republic faced challenges, including political strife, economic struggles, and a tumultuous period of martial law under President Ferdinand Marcos. The country was polarized, but the Filipino people again showed resilience during the People Power Revolution in 1986, restoring democracy. Today, the Philippines is a thriving democracy, rich in culture and history. Its people are known for their resilience, their pride, and a spirit that has been shaped by centuries of struggle, sacrifice, and triumph. From ancient traders to fierce warriors, from colonization to liberation, the story of the Philippines is one of determination and identity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating tales from history. If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into the fascinating history of the Philippines, grab a copy of our detailed book version, link in the description. Packed with rich insights and captivating stories, it's a must-read for history enthusiasts.